Yeah, good morning, one and all. So today we are discussing about the mathematical modeling of control system. So what is the meaning of mathematical modeling of control system is how to represent the control system in the form of mathematical equations. So in mathematical model, we represent the control system in the form of mathematical equations. It always come in the form of differential equations. We have to use the physical laws to write the mathematical equations. So what is meant by physical laws? So as the system nature, for example, if it is a mechanical system, we are using Newton's laws to write the mathematical equations. If the system is in electrical in nature, we are using KCL, that is Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law to write the differential equations. So what is Newton's law? For example, today we are discussing about the mathematical modeling of mechanical system. Generally, there are various types of the physical systems. Namely, we have mechanical systems, electrical systems, electronic systems, thermal systems, hydraulic systems, and chemical systems, and so on. But in this course, we are dealing about the mathematical modeling for the mechanical systems and electrical systems. So in this class, we are discussing about mathematical modeling of mechanical system. So to write the mathematical equations in mechanical systems, we have to use the physical law, that is Newton's law. What is Newton's law? Newton's law states that in the mechanical system, the algebraic sum of all the force or torque on a stable mass or inertial element is always equal to 0. Basically, we'll do the mathematical modeling of mechanical and electrical systems as per the system components. The system components may be in mechanical or electrical. So, how can we say that it's a mechanical system or electrical system? The components of the control systems are in mechanical nature, then that system is called mechanical system. The components of the control systems are in electrical in nature, that system is called electrical system. So mechanical system is again divided into the mainly two types. One is mechanical translation system, that is mechanical linear system. Second one is mechanical rotational system. So today's class we are discussing about how to write the mathematical equations for the mechanical translation system. So translational mechanical system. So in a translational mechanical system, the input signal is force, the output signal is linear displacement or linear velocity. So input is force, output is linear displacement or linear velocity. In any mechanical system, if I am applying a force and due to this force, the linear displacement occurs. So it is called the mechanical translation system. To represent this type of the system, we are getting the knowledge of the three basic elements. They are mass element, damping element, and spring element. So why only these three elements? For example, if you suppose to take the electrical system to represent the complexity, whatever the complexity it have, so we have to get the knowledge about the three elements. They are resistance, inductance, and capacitance. Similarly, if it is a mechanical rotational system, we have to get the basic knowledge about these three elements. One is mass element, damping element, and spring element. In mechanical system, out of these three elements, the two elements are energy storing elements and one element is energy dissipating elements. So the mass element and spring element are the energy storing elements and damping element is the energy dissipating elements. So we'll discuss in detail about these three elements. The first one is mass element. So the basic symbol of this mass element is like this. Translational spring, that is spring element is like that, and the damper element. So the first one is mass element. Mass is the energy storing element which stores the energy in the form of kinetic energy. E is equal to 1 by 2 into m into v square. You see this clear the diagram. Mass, if I am applying a force, so that displacement is also in the same direction. As per the Newton's second law of motion, describes that the relation between the object's mass and the amount of force needed to accelerate it. For Newton's second law often stated that F is equal to m into a, which means the force acting on an object equal to the mass of an object times of its acceleration. F is equal to ma. Suppose there is a mass element and it has the two ends. Definitely if the mass element is there, one end is connected to the fixed reference and another is the free end. One is fixed reference and another is connected to the free end. So if we write the mathematical equation for that, if I am applying a force due to this force, mass starts to moving and there will be a displacement and velocity in the other side. So F is equal to m into a, that is mass into acceleration, where a is the acceleration. This above equation can be written as F is equal to m into dv by dt. So acceleration is a derivative of linear velocity. So that's why the acceleration can be written as dv by dt. Similarly, the dv velocity, that is displacement, is a derivative of angular velocity. So that's why dv by dt can be written as that v can be written as dx by dt. Therefore, the final equation can be written as F is equal to m into d square x by dt square. You clearly see that in these equations, if the input is a force, the output is linear velocity, the first order differential equation, the first order term will occur. Similarly, you see in the second equation, if the input is the force and the output is the displacement, the second order differential equation will occur. So m into d square x by dt square. The second element is damping element. Damping element represents the friction present in the system. It is an energy dissipating element. And here the power is also lost as a heat due to the friction. What is the amount of the power is lost due to this damping element? P is equal to F into small f into V square. Here small f is the damping coefficient. Capital V is the linear velocity. P is equal to F into V square. Here, because of the damping element present, some damping force is developed in the system. That force is equal to F is equal to small f into V1 minus V2. What is that F? F is the damping coefficient, V1 minus V2. Why I am saying that is V1 minus V2? For example, if the two ends are free, V1 is the linear velocity at the first end, V2 is the linear velocity of the second end. What is the total resultant velocity? V1 minus V2. So the damping force F is capital F is equal to small f into V1 minus V2. If, for example, if the one end is connected to the fixed reference, the value is F is equal to small f into V1 only. Similarly, this equation can be written as, already you know, V, that is velocity is a derivative of displacement. That's why the above equation can be written as small f into d by dt times of x1 minus x2. Similarly, what is x1 here? The linear displacement at the first end, and x2. x2 is the linear displacement of the second end. If the one end is connected to the fixed reference, then this equation can be written as f into d by dt times of x1 only. You see clearly from this equation, this damping force, the direction of this damping force is developed due to the actional force only, and the direction of this force opposes the actual displacement, actual force. For example, if the actual force, external force is applied in clockwise direction, this damping force is applied or developed in anti-clockwise direction. And also it is clearly see that If the input is the force and output is the velocity, then the first order term will occur. If the input is the force and the displacement is the output, the first order term will occur. So these are translational dampers. F is equal to C. That is, capital C is also represents the damping coefficient. In some textbooks, it is represented as capital C or small f. So F is equal to C into dx by dt. The two ends are free. Then the damping force is equal to small f or capital C into dx1 by dt minus dx2 by dt, where C is the damping coefficient, small f or capital C. If the two elements, the two damping elements are connected in parallel, then what is the total damping constant? That is equal to C1 plus C2. Similarly, if the two damping elements are connected in series, then equivalent damping coefficient is C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. Anyway, this concept we'll discuss about in these problems. And the third element is spring element. Third one is the spring element. Spring element represents the storing element, that is energy storing element of the system, which stores the energy in the form of potential energy. Here E is equal to 1 by 2 into K into X square. Here what is K? K is the spring constant. For example, if the two ends of the spring is free, then the equation can be written as x1 minus x2 with respect to time, that is x1 of t minus x2 of t. So the total equation can be written like this. So x1 minus x2 and the total force, the spring force due to the external force, F is equal to K into x1 minus x2. For example, if the one end is connected to the fixed reference like this as per this diagram, then x2 is 0. So that's why what is F here? F is equal to K into x1 only, where K is the spring constant, or it is also called stiffness of the spring expressed in Newton meters. Similarly, here also, if the two springs are connected in parallel, then how to calculate the total force? The total force in the same direction as the displacement, and if it is connected in series, the direction is like this as per this circuit. You see this the example. Consider a simple horizontal spring mass system of the surface as shown in figure, where m into dx by dt is equal to minus k into x. But one force in one direction, that is because of the mass element, the direction is in clockwise direction. Let us assuming that because of the spring, the force which is developed due to the spring, that is opposes the actual displacement, as like a damping element. Here also, that can be represented in the mathematical form is minus k into x, or otherwise it can be represented as m into dx by dt plus kx is equal to 0. Consider the following system, that is the friction is negligible. For example, if the damping element is negligible, then the element is like this, the free body diagram, both ends are free, then actual force is applied in one direction. Let us say it is from left to right, and the spring element, the force due to the spring element and the force due to the damping element both opposes the actual force, that is in from right to left, opposite direction. Now we are finally discussing, let us assuming that all the elements are present in a system where there is a spring element, there is a damping element, and there is a mass element, and we are applying an external force. The external force is in this direction from right to left, and because of this, the displacement is also developed. But because of this force, there is a spring, the force due to the spring and force due to the damping element opposes this force. So that's why for this example, we can write in mathematical expression like that. So you clearly see that the force is applied from upward to downwards, and because of this force, the total displacement is also from upward to downwards, and there is with a fixed reference, there is a spring element and there is a damping element. So these, because of these forces, this Kd and Ks, damping element force and Ks, spring force, these two forces opposes the actual force. So by writing this mathematical equation with this example, for this example, the total force is equal to, or otherwise the total force is F minus the force due to the damping element, that is F into dx by dt, and force due to the spring element, that is K into x. F minus F into dx by dt minus Kx is equal to, what is this as per the Newton's law? That value is equal to m into a. What is m into a? Mass into acceleration. What is the acceleration in terms of displacement? That is equal to d square x by dt square. Already we have seen in the previous equation. So m into a can be written as m into d square x by dt square. Therefore, this equation can be written as F is equal to, or F minus F into dx by dt minus kx is equal to m into d square x by dt square. And finally, this equation can be written as F is equal to m into d square x by dt square plus F into dx by dt plus kx. If the mass element is there, clearly see that the first term in the equation is the third term. If the mass element is there, the second order differential equation, the second order term is present in the differential equation. If the damping element is there, the first order term will be present in the differential equation. If the spring element is there, the zero order term will be present in the differential equation. So it's a total, if all the three elements are there, then there is the general equation. For example, if the spring element is absent, then this is a second term, that is k into x is 0. Or otherwise, if the spring element is there, the damping element is absent, then the first term will be 0. Only the second and third term will occur. So this is the concept how to write the mathematical equations in the mechanical translation system. So we'll discuss the how to write the mathematical modeling concept in mechanical rotational systems in the next class. Thank you.